Hello, everyone. Welcome, and welcome back, YouTube friends. I am going to pick up after that long hiatus you experienced with just starting with Neon. It's not that I wasn't streaming. It's that I've scaled back my streaming and scaled back my content creation efforts so that I can focus on some other really pressing stuff in my life, including ramping up my store efforts. You know, you can this link still works, but I'm working on my retail, and it's taken up a lot of my time, and somewhat YouTube friends, scaling back on content creation means that I'm not as invested in getting content out regularly as I used to be, because I'm no longer trying to make this a career. I'm not trying to find a way towards streaming as a full-time reality, or even a well-paying part-time reality. So now that I've embraced this endeavor as a soul-filling hobby of sorts that pays some money, it's nice when your hobbies pay something. But I'm being realistic. I'm here because I like doing it. I'm here because I love my community, and I love what we've built together here as a place to hang and play Magic together. And I'm focusing on that. And unfortunately for my YouTube friends, they've really taken the brunt of my shifting priorities. And I will try to continue posting YouTube videos. And, you know, I have all this content that I haven't even turned into cut videos, but it's all like Crimson Vow. And I just don't, I might go back and get at least the gauntlets and the cube drafts and the stuff that's not Crimson Vow. But again, since I'm scaling back from content creation a bit, it seems pretty silly for me to invest time right now cutting Crimson Vow videos. But of course, if you want to, you know, you can come to the Twitch stream and check the VODs and check out any of the content that you've missed, because I backburnered YouTube uploading. And again, I'm sorry, but life is life. So anyway, the content is there available for you. And I am going to at least get it downloaded so it'll stay there. It won't disappear after a month like a lot of Twitch content does if you don't wrangle it. But I do thank you, Twitch friends, for being patient with me and for coming back to watch this one. And so I'm back. I'm now on like 3 times a week, and I will do my level best to consistently upload stuff to YouTube, but I can't make promises at this point. And just know that if there are gaps, I'm thinking of you, and it's nothing personal, but you can always come to the Twitch stream and check the VODs, right? Thank you so much, YouTube friends. And of course, check out my sponsor, Card Kingdom, if you want to help my hobby continue to pay a little bit. You do that by checking out my sponsor via their awesome website and my affiliate links in the various places you can find it. Let them know you got there from here. And if you need tabletop cardboard, they are your best supplier this side of me. So check them out. Thank you, Card Kingdom. Now, let's do this. Go right into deck building, actually, since we are not drafting here. Little clunky to do sealed on Arena, but not impossible. You just gotta take it step by step, in my opinion. Ooh, Invoke Despair. This is a hefty requirement. Makes it tough to play in limited, but let's see what it does. 5 mana, 4 of it black. Target opponent sacrifices a creature. If they can't, they lose 2 life and you draw a card. Then repeat this process for an enchantment and a planeswalker. So you either get some combination of 3 permanents and 6 life and 3 cards, right? some mix of all that. There is no real downside to casting this. You're going to get some value, good value out of it no matter what. Although if they've got loose creatures, you know, spare tokens, no enchantments and no planeswalkers, are we happy about that? I guess you're getting deal 4 damage, draw 2 cards, and they lose their worst creature for 5 mana. You know, for this level of cost, I wanted this to just blow me away. As it is, this seems like, okay, that's a solid value, but if you'd called this 4 black black instead of 1 black 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 black, you know, all right, sure. But like you have to go so deep to play this with any, I mean, to cast 4 black, oh, that's just a lot. Anyway, move on. This one's easier. Tatsunari Toad Rider, right on. We got a 3/3 for 3. It's a rare, so I assume it's upside from here, and we're just getting a nice Centaur Courser with upside. What's the upside? Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, if you don't control a creature named Kimi, if you don't control this legendary 3/3 black and green frog creature, with whenever you cast an enchantment spell, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Okay, so you make that if you don't have one. But that's only when you cast an enchantment spell. And then it also has 1 and then blue-green hybrid. Interesting. To have this and target frog you control. Probably interesting. It's probably going to be the frog you've created, but it's not this frog. It can be any frog. You can make a frog tribal now. And target. So this and target frog you control can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with flying or reach. Interesting. Yeah, so there's a constellation sub-theme going on here. So this is a build around, obviously. If you would never, like literally never, play this. Well, it's never as strong. Look at me coming back on it immediately. If you play this in a deck without enchantments, you've got a really boring common that's filler. Like, so it is D level filler. Maybe D plus level if you like a 3/3 for 3. 3/3 for 3 is not bad. So maybe like D plus level without enchantments, but with enchantments, we're doing it, right? Well, that's true. It's not vanilla. Thanks, Haj. The activated ability still has upside. So that's even so D plus is wrong. Let's call it unblockable is real. So let's it's not unblockable though. It's evasion. Evasion is real. I'd bring it up actually even if like a C minus. Yeah. Oh, can't jump without a frog. Okay, so wait. All right. We're there. Hold on.
Oh no, please! I can't read your crazy moon language!
I mean, I'm trying to read. It's just hard. Yeah, so it does need a frog to target or else it can't do it. Okay, so there you go. You need frogs and enchantments, or what does this do? That being said, this is an enchantment-heavy set. It doesn't even feel like you need to build around too much. You just need to make sure... I'm going to run this in a black deck, but I'm not thinking this is a great card unless I've got, call it, 6 enchantments. Six enchantments feels like I'm going to find something to trigger this pretty solidly. Under that, I'm running it, but I'm doing it understanding that in many of my games it might just be a 3/3. I don't believe that a 3/3 for 3 is a C War Furnace. I don't think that's true. I really think at this point in time, a 3/3 for 3 with 0 text, and especially like, 0 tribal relevance is really a D plus at this point in Magic. You pass them and you don't want to play them. Weaver of Harmony, speaking of enchantments, play this right alongside it. 2/2, we got a bear, I like that. Rare bear. Other enchantment creatures you control get +1/+1. So enchantment creature Lord, that's pretty cool. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control from an enchantment source. Huh. That, whenever I see the word copy for that cheap, I think that's pretty interesting for constructed, and especially that makes me think Commander players might have some fun with this, copying some crazy stuff, copying Saga effects, yeah. And it's not even like sacrifice this and copy. It's just copy it for 1 mana. That seems really great. And yeah, definitely a signpost towards sagas. Lion Sash, 1 and a white for a 1/1 artifact creature equipment cat. So this is the listed updates, these creature / equipments. And it's a 1/1 and 1/1 for 2. White, exile a target card from a graveyard. If it was a permanent card, put a +1/+1 counter on Lion Sash. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each +1/+1 counter on Lion Sash. Sure. That seems pretty good. Yeah, looks like Ooze, except with a lower starting point. This only starts as a 1/1 instead of a 2/2. You don't gain any life for exiling creatures, but you gain, but you do gain the counter. And whereas you don't get the life gain, you do get the equipment status that it can hop around on things. So that's kind of what you're getting instead. But yeah, it's at the... We've seen how powerful it can be just incidentally to be able to exile things from a graveyard. Graveyard stuff matters more and more in Magic as design space continues to tighten. The graveyard is being used a lot. Yeah, it's permanent and not creature. That's true. So you get a little more action on that front. In limited, most of the permanents you're exiling are going to be creatures, although in this set, again, the enchantment stuff is pretty heavy. So maybe some sagas. You can exile your opponent's saga or whatever that has self-sacrificed for a counter. So interesting. Certainly, you're going to run that in 100% of your decks that have, 7+ white sources. Mech Titan Core. 2 mana vehicle that is a 2/4, and it says 5, exile this and 4 other artifact creatures and or vehicles you control. So you need 5 artifact creatures and or vehicles to create this flip side here, a 10/10 flying vigilance, trample, lifelink, haste, all color. Wow. Really, you run this in a view? I guess if you have like 4 other ones, you need 4. Boy, 4 other ones is no joke. I guess if you're where I really like this is if I'm spitting out artifact tokens. So to live that dream of the 10/10 reliably, I want to be making artifact tokens. Well, okay, I get it, Pablo. Everybody's saying there's a ton of artifact creatures in the set. Okay. What if this just said exile 4 other creatures? Like you would still be like, wow, that's a lot of creatures. I don't always have 4 other creatures. My point is, yeah, you can say, there's so many artifacts in this set. Don't worry, but I'm just saying, yeah, there are, but that's a high cost. It's a high cost, and you got to be careful. Like, you may just be, I think there are going to be times where you are more likely to win the game simply by crew 2ing your 2/4 with the creatures you have, rather than moving all in on a 10/10 flying vigilance, trample, lifelink, haste. Because if somebody has removal for that and you invested all those other permanents into it, that's going to be a tough result. That being said, if the coast is clear, this is obviously a game-winning play. Interesting card. I'm not sure how good it is. Obviously, you want to do the thing. Let's say it didn't have any other rules text except being a 2/4 2-drop with crew 2. That would be like a common level card that we didn't really care about, right? So oh, that's true. And there's extra text here. So if they do kill your critter, you get the stuff back. Okay, that makes me like that more. but it still, to me, feels like I like that they and this is what people have been telling me, that this set is like, don't worry, this is everything's actually made out of soft pillows in this format. There's nothing. It looks like it's a hard edge, but there's no hard edges. Right? Whenever you're like, oh, but that disaster could happen, it's like, no, we protected you. That disaster won't happen. What analogy? Oh, I'm just saying, but you get what I'm saying. You don't understand what I'm saying? I'm saying there's a lot of designs here that protect you from the stuff you're scared of. Like, but I'm scared that if I invest all in, I'll lose my stuff. Oh, but you won't lose your, yeah. And it's like, I'm not saying there's no hard edges, that there's no way for it to go badly, but it seems like they're doing a lot of work to put rails on this set. You know what I mean? We're not going to look at it War Furnace. We're going to play a 5 rare sealed pool. So let's just continue. I'm kidding. What is it? Where did it go? This one? March of Otherworldly Light, X in a white. Instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may exile any number of white cards from your hand. Okay, costly. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each card exiled this way. Okay, discount. Exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment with mana value X or less. This feels like a common with a rare mana symbol? Or am I... Yeah, this seems like whatever. And as a rare, I mean, it's removal. I'm not, it's removal. I'm just saying, like, it seems like a upgraded lower rarity card, You pretty much, in Limited, don't ever want to do the exile white cards from your hand unless you're hyper desperate. It's not worth the rules text, but I almost wish it said, from a functionality standpoint, as an additional cost to cast this spell, you may exile any number of white cards or basic planes from your hand, or planes cards from your hand, so that you could actually turn land in hand into double effect for this particular spell. Anyway, now let's take a look at uncommons by color. That's what I like to do next. Yeah, I was thinking about that too, War Furnace, that newer players might be thinking they can pitch their planes to that card and have it, and then they're going to be they're going to learn some Magic rules, huh? Hot Shot Mechanic, 2/1, 1-drop Fox Pilot. So it this is probably just playable as a 2-powered 1-drop with no downside, but if you got vehicles going, obviously all the better. Go Shinte of Lost Wisdom, must be a shrine. Yep, more shrines for all those shrine decks. Pretty, in 20 years, Magic is going to have 400 shrines, and the meta is going to be all about which shrine combination you're going for. This one says, flying 04, at the beginning of your end step, you may pay 1. When you do, target player mills X cards where X is the number of shrines you control. Well, that's very specific. So if you don't need an 04 flying blocker, probably not playing this. But an 04 flying blocker is not nothing for the decks that are looking to hold the ground, or hold the sky, hold the fort early and make it to a late game. But I really dislike playing 2-drop creatures that have no ability to attack, that have no power. It's rough. So I'm not interested in that. But Leech Gauntlet, as I say, lifelink incoming. 2/2 lifelink equipment leech. Oh, okay. So listed. This seems great. Wow. I mean, just because I'm already happy with a 2/2 lifelinker for 2, especially in black. Like a lot of times, I mean, this is an uncommon. But in oh yeah, it doesn't disappoint. It usually does the power toughness boost, but maybe +2/+2 in lifelink they decided was too much. Yeah, that's fine. I was kind of thinking of it like the +2 would be there, but that being said, to come back to it, I'm just like think to it was Strixhaven, where the leech in there was common, and it was a 2/2. It was a black bear, but it had lifelink only on your turn. And that meant, and it was real, because like when you're on the back foot, you love your defenders to have lifelink, because it's like, I'm gonna trade off for that 2 toughness creature, get 2 of my life back, and then it'll be a much better defensive stand. So having lifelink on defense is big, and then of course being able to throw this around later is just gravy. But I just like this as a baseline 2/2 lifelinker 100% of the time for 2. Grave Lighter, 2 and a black for a 2/2 flying. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. If a creature died this turn, otherwise each player sacrifices a creature. That's cool too. I like that. Yeah, it's it's expensive, but it's about that's gravy. I'm saying I'm excited about this as a 2/2 lifelinker for 2 and black that doesn't lose lifelink on my opponent's turn. That's great. That I'm already happy. The fact that I get to throw this around later, just bonus. It's an artifact creature for Voltron, although that's a drawback as well, right? In sets like this, enchantment versus artifact status on creature makes it more vulnerable to different kinds of removal, but more synergistic with different kinds of payoffs. That's the trade-off. Assassin's Ink, 2 black. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control an artifact, and 1 less to cast if you control an enchantment. Yeah, whatever. I'm paying 4 for this and happy. If I can get it for 2, all the better. But yeah, these a nice little stripe of black uncommons here. Kumano faces Kakazan. Oh, I'm going to butcher some pronunciations. Oh, but that's the, yeah. So this is a 1 mana saga, drops on turn 1. What happens? This deals 1 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker they control, so whatever. When you cast your next creature spell this turn, that creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Okay. It's only 1 mana, so okay, but what do we get on 3? Exile the saga, then return to the battlefield transformed, and we get a hasty 2/2. And if a creature dealt damage this turn by a source you control would die, exile it instead. That doesn't seem to matter. But this is this seems like solid value for 1 mana. Right? Like, 1 point of ping is nothing. It's almost like the first chapter is the downside that you just have to wait. So, yeah, I like that on turn 1. And then drop a 2-drop, and it's bigger, and then get a hasty 2/2 on turn 3, plus something else you get to cast. Yeah, it seems nice. A lot of value for 1 mana, agreed. Upriser Renegade, 1 and a red for a 1/3 human samurai. Gets +2/+0 for each other modified creature you control. So it doesn't count itself when it's modified, but this likes things to be equipped, countered, or aura'd. Bronzeplate Boar, 2 and a red for a 3/2 trample uncommon. Another one of these equipment creatures. Reconfigure 5. Again, these reconfigures are so expensive because they are the gravy on the card. You can't make that too cheap or else they just get busto, because this is fine. I'm not happy playing a 3/2 trampler for 3 full stop in limited. I expect a little something there. Like, for example, the last set in, Crimson Vow, we had the one that made blood tokens when it connected, right? There's like, little something extra on a card like that. In this case, the little something extra is the reconfigure, but in this case, it's not just the tramp. Here, you only get the life link. Here, you get the 3/2. That seems quite good to throw +3/+2 and trample on something. Yeah, Scream's Gruel, but really Scream's red gives its other color some reach, some ability to take a creature and really get through with it. So I like that a lot as well. Historian's Wisdom, 2 and a green. Enchantment Aura, enchant artifact or creature. When this enters the battlefield, if enchanted permanent is a creature with the greatest power among creatures on the battlefield, draw a card. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets +2/+1. So that should count towards that check, right? Because it enters, and since it's entered, it is on the permanent, giving it the +2/+1. And so then it's saying, all right, now let's check, and if it's got the power. So I think that's important. I think I'm reading that right. If I have that rule wrong, let me know if you think I got that wrong. But I believe that it should count the +2 towards the check on card draw. And that's very important for this card being good. But I think that it does, and I think that makes it pretty good. Although, is it? Wait a second. I need to check myself, because we had this option effectively. I mean, +2/+1 is better than +1/+3. But didn't we have this last set and really not play it? I think I'm enamored with draw a card, but let's face it, 3 mana to draw a card is not that great. And if you can't do it into open mana out of fear from your opponent punishing you, it makes it a lot worse. So I was starting to think, hey, not bad. Almost like you give me a hoop, and I'm thinking that jumping through that hoop is probably worth it. But now that I assess this hoop, I'm like, wait, I got to jump through a hoop to get a card that I didn't really want to play last set. Although, again, +2/+1 better than +1/+3 in terms of general limited impact, but still, now I'm not super impressed. You might run it if you had, that's a great point, Hammer. Like in last set, we weren't playing this because enchantments weren't a thing. There was no inherent reward for having enchantments specifically in your deck last set. So I'm kind of flip-flopping around, but this is how we assess cards early on, right? It's a lot of ideas pinballing in my head here about what's affecting the power of this card. And so on the one hand, it doesn't measure up well when compared to a common from the last set that was like 14th pick, but but synergy matters. So I guess play this if you're really doing the synergy thing. That's the bottom line. You really want to care about having enchantments and having enchantments enter the battlefield, I think, is the bottom line. Web Spinner Cuff. As I say, this seems like yet another one of these, right? So this one is a 1/4 for 3 with reach, and you can give 1/4 and reach to something else for 4. Same old story. I beat this drum on reach creatures all the time. Whether or not I want reach creatures in my low-powered reach creatures in my green deck depends on how I'm trying to win with that deck. If I am aggro, if I'm Gruel aggro, I probably don't want that because I'm just trying to get you dead right away. I'm not looking to go long. I'm not looking to worry about your flyers. I'm going to beat your flyers by beating you. Whereas if I'm trying to make it to some late game, if I'm ramping up to an 8-drop that I think wins me the game if I can find it, those are the places where if you're not prepared to deal with flying, you think you have a good deck, and then you don't have enough interaction with the flying, and you just lose to flyers as you're trying to truck towards your big bomb or whatever. And those are the decks where I love the spiders, love the low power, high toughness reach, and that's where. So same thing here. What kind of deck do I have? What am I trying to do? But when I am trying to go long, I love managing oppo flyers with creatures over removal. Because if I can have one good reach creature that can block a ton of stuff, if that creature sticks and lives, it effectively kills, like it could kill 3 flyers across the board on the other side by making 3 flyers now have no good attacks of any kind. That's super powerful. That's what I like reach creatures for. Being quasi removal, onboard removal for existing threats so that you don't have to use your very limited direct interaction removal on flyers. Spinning Wheel Kick, gotta love the double X. So the algebra is in. Oh, let me do this one first. Is it Bazehu? Yeah, I think it's Bazehu. Bazeju? Maybe it's Jew. I'm probably doing soft J's from the wrong language. I do love the land that Bazeju. I love the Bazeju land that doesn't allow people to counter your stuff. But what does this do? Maybe this does something like that. So for 4 mana, Chapter 1, search for 2 basic forest cards. Okay, so it's not fixing. Very important. Not fixing. And then Chapter 2, and it's, put them to your hand too. So it's not even ramping. It's not fixing, it's not it's fixing if you need 4 green instead of 2, I guess. Then put up to 1 target land from your graveyard on top of your library. Wow, this is just trying to get all the land. So what do we get for that? It must be land-based power, right? Yeah, yep. Exile this saga, and you get a reach creature with +1/+1 for each land you control. I don't know. How do we like this? I don't like that Chapter 2. If I mean, you might not have a thing in your. Is it a 6/6? 4 mana, suspend 2. I guess you're getting at least the 6, yeah. What do you mean overhyped? I mean, it is what it is, Rob. It's a land that says blue mages can't ruin your day. It's exactly as hype as it is. Oh, okay, different card. This one? Is there a new... Are we talking about this one or a new different Boseiju card? Whatever else. I'm sure I'll learn eventually. Spinning Wheel Kick. XX green. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each of X target creatures and or planeswalkers. Okay, so let's say I've got a 3-powered creature and my opponent has just a bunch of stuff out. What's it going to cost me to pick off a bunch of stuff? Let's say I want to get 3 of them. If I X of 3, that's like 8 mana. So a 1 for just, oh yeah, so really making you pay, huh? So 4 mana to just punch 1 creature, which is bad. 6 mana kill 2 is in, now you're talking territory, right? 8 mana is unrealistic, but be sweet. I mean, if you pump 8 into this and kill 3 things, you ought to just win. I'm also making a lot of presumptions that we're going to have enough power to kill a bunch of things when we cast this. But yeah, if it's green, I'm playing this, but it's not Busto. But if you pump 8 into it, you should win. If you pump 6 into it, that's pretty darn good. And if you pump 4 into it, that's not great. But hey, if you can 1-for-1 an important creature anyway, thumbs up. Enthusiastic Mechanaut, love this thing. Just a solid little collection of abilities. More constructed exciting than limited exciting, but you're still going to be happy to run this in limited and reduce the cost of your artifacts. Gloom Shrieker, 1 black-green menace. When Gloom Shrieker enters the battlefield, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. If Gloom Shrieker would die, exile it instead. So permanent cards, but it's like a... I mean, that's great value. This makes me want to be green-black. Sorry, Captain. Whenever Samurai Warrior control attacks alone. Yeah, not going to do that. This high-speed hover bike, flash flying... that might be a way to have some play against flying too. The old hover bike. Circuit Mender enters, you gain 2, leaves, draw a card. Boy, if it doesn't... I wish it was the other way around. If it was enters, draw a card, leaves, gain 2, this would be a no-brainer play in every deck. But since you can't guarantee that card, I don't know how much I love this. But it does obviously have a lot of synergies in the set. I don't remember what Filigree Familiar's rules were. But yeah, if you can sack it, that seems great. That's true. It is leave play. That's a great point, Rob. And so then really your exile still does it, bounce still does it. What doesn't do it is aura-based removal. But if they're doing aura-based removal, then you've got sack outlets and stuff. So yeah, I think you're still playing it, but sad, important that you can, it's hard not to get the card. Tawashi Guide Bot. 2/1 for 4, ugh. When this enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Okay, so itself could be a 3/2 for 4. And then 4 mana to draw a card, but this ability costs 1 less to activate for each modified creature you control. So obviously it modifies something, so effectively it's 3 mana draw a card. That seems quite good. Maybe 4 mana is expensive. But a 4 mana 3/2 that has 3 tap draw card seems fine. Seems good. We'll run that. Yeah, it has tap. That's true. I mean, you need to tap it. So playing that. Don't put the counter on itself just because you don't want to waste power on a creature that's trying to tap. Well, sure, I'm just saying, but you don't need another creature. That's nice. I mean, if you can, you throw this elsewhere. Although another, yeah, I think you're right. When you can, you put this elsewhere. I'm just saying it's nice that it doesn't need anything else to function. And we looked at this in our practice draft. Modified creature matter thing. All right. I'm going to take a quick look at the commons, but almost just looking at I'm going to look at the rares again to remind myself. Because, yeah, I liked this Weaver. This was a bit rough, but we could play the Toad Rider. So I think, yeah, let's just throw a Golgari deck together and give it a shot. I'm not even going to really pour over the commons. I'm just going to I'm going to build Golgari, see how that looks. I want to play some Magic now. And I don't care if I don't have a perfect deck on day one. I'm going to go big cards so that I can read better. And then I'm going to do it in reverse order of rarity. So starting with, I guess we play this, or I'll put it in and we'll take a look. But again, if you don't have any chance of the 10/10, then I'm not sure what we're playing this for. But let's put it in for now in this. Are we invoking Despair? We are playing black. 4 black is still pretty darn oppressive. But maybe we should give it a try. If we do this on turn 9, that's going to be okay. It's just, trouble is at that point, sacrifice a creature just doesn't do much. Definitely this, though. I'll put this in for now. Leech Gauntlet, yes. Gravelighter, yes. Assassin's Ink, yes. Wisdom, this is one we were talking about. Are we doing enough? I mean, we've got, is it with this? No, this is Artifact. This is where we are trying to modify things, so modify matters. Jeez. Yeah, here you go. You can have your channel points back. There you go. Rejected. Gloom Shrieker. Yeah. Are we playing this? I don't know. Playing this. Playing this. I guess we gotta play these. The 6/6 reach is pretty big. And we're gonna play that. Play the Circuit Mender. Playing the bot. We are modifying stuff, so I kind of want to try this. And that means I want to do this because we're modifying. Could mean we do the cuff. If we're trying to go long, maybe we are running that. I don't know if we're running the hover bike, though. I guess I'll put it in for now, knowing that I might cut that. But heck, we're pretty full up before we're even hitting the common. So we got some cuts to make, I'm sure, which is good. Well, I don't know. Maybe we get just raked over the coals on commons. Enchantment Aura. So this is a negative aura for your oppos stuff. So this doesn't help our modified theme, but it seems playable. I think this is going to be pretty good because if you're racing, I mean, look what this does in a race. They can't block. They've shrunk your attacker. You just can ignore it. And then unless they have a way to sack it, it actually contributes to your damage. So I think this is good. For I can at least run one. You are already dead. One of my favorite tweets about this set was somebody pointing out, like, there's various cards in Magic where you need to name a Magic card, and it has to be the name of an actual Magic card. But sometimes you're naming a card in a context where it doesn't matter. It's just a perfunctory thing on the rules that you have to do in order to resolve the card, but you're on your way to winning with combo. And so someone was saying, when you have that situation, this is the new card that you name when you are naming a legal Magic card, in which one it is completely irrelevant because your opponent is already dead. I love that. Destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn, though. Is that any good? Ad nauseum is one example. The example the tweet had was some other combo around naming with the you win if your library is empty. Anyway, there's a lot of cards actually do that. So yeah, demonic consultation probably the first though. Yeah, Thassa's Oracle. Thank you, Hat. Reckoner's Bargain. Where are we playing this? I don't know. I guess I'm gonna try it. It seems like, I mean, this is such a strikeout home run card, right? But we'll try it. Reckoner's Bargain. As an additional cost to cast, sack. You gain life equal to the sacrifice permanent's value. Draw 2 cards. And instant. Draw 2 cards is... I guess that's normal. That's what it's always been, right? But you gain some life. So do that. Virus Beetle. When Virus Beetle enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. Another 2-mana Rat Burglar. Play that. Especially, like, because we could go Virus Beetle into Gravelighter and sack the Beetle while our opponent has to sack something real. So that's cool. Kaito's Pursuit. Target player discards 2 cards. Ninjas and rogues you control gain menace. That 2 cards is real, but I think we are going to skip this for now. Mukotai Ambusher. 3 and a black for a 3/2 ninjutsu lifelinker. I think we're just going to play, 3/2 lifelink for 4. Probably playable despite the 2 toughness being pretty weak. But the ninjutsu makes this extra playable. We'll give that, we want 2 of them? I don't know if we want 2, but we'll put them 2 in for now. That's true, we're not super evasive. Maybe I'll cut one of them and we'll see how it goes. Kami of the Restless Shadows, 3/3. 5 mana ATB, return a ninja or rogue, or put a creature on top of your library. So 2 for 1 if you've got the ninjas and rogues, which we don't really. We got 2 ninjas and no rogues. So this doesn't seem great for us. I really don't want to do this if I don't have a pretty good shot at 2 for 1. Commune with Spirits, we know... Oh, we know this type of card. Enchantment or land. That seems like a stretch. Trainee, though, I like. Just fill out that low curve and say, block me if you dare. Rebuke. This is a good interaction card. Bearer of Memory. +1/+1 trying to enchant. Yeah, so there's a lot of mana sinks that I'm seeing in the set, at least. I like mana sinks. This is probably playable, but not exciting. I think this is main deckable in this format, and you can almost tell, like, we have gotten so much more for this type of card. I'm used to instant speed, 3 mana, 3 green interaction narrow things. You know, this is sorcery speed, and we only get 2. Why? Because the effect is good in the format. That's why. So I think we play that. We try. Heir of the Ancient Fang, 2 and a 3, 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, with a +1 if you control a modified creature. So we drafted some of these in our test draft. Definitely playing this thing. I don't know. It has a combat trick, but it also can modify. And this does not modify creatures, so I'm not as excited about it, but maybe it's good enough just on its own. Yeah, I love dual lands, common dual lands, or low rarity dual lands in limited is great. Does it? I thought modify was creatures. Let's find one and make sure we know how that works. Oh, no, stop that. Just trying to... Equipment, auras you control, and counters are modifications. Okay, yeah, you're right. Oh, but in this case, it says creature. So there you go. You're right that it is technically modified, but it looks like some of the payoffs expect modified creatures. Got it. And then, yeah, it does become a creature. So that's fair. Yep, it does work. All right. So that makes me want to play it more. I'll put it in for now. This one, 5 mana to buff a creature and give it vigilance twice, and then you get a 5/5 vigilance haste. That seems not as impactful as I'd like for 5 mana. It is more modified, that's true. But I'm with D. The creature coming around 2 turns later just feels very underwhelming for that much mana. You think it's a mini grove? It's 5 mana, though. But it's... I mean, a worse grove was pretty good, so calling it a worse grove is still somewhat complimentary. I can put it in for now, but I bet we're cutting it. I'll put one of these in for now, too. Uncharted Haven. Interesting. This is kind of the no shuffle Evolving Wilds, right? I like it from that perspective. Probably running it. Iron Apprentice. There's a battlefield +1/+1 counter on it. When it dies, if it had counters on it, yeah. We could do that. We got the modified sub-theme-ish. I don't like these. Brute Suit's fun name, but I'm not into the card. Yeah, that's a good point. I like that, War Furnace, that it's a Evolving Wilds that lets you splash without having to run a basic of the splash color. That's interesting. Potential splash there, but I'm going to skip that and just try to make the 9 cuts here and get on with it. What is our split right now? We're at 16-16. Probably need to get rid of a lot of our worst spells. We have some to give. This is... I'm going to cut the Invoke Despair. This just seems... Although, did we get... Maybe we got enough fixing. This just seems like so... Ugh. Yeah, I'm going to cut that. I think I cut the hover bike. Artifacts or vehicles. 8 artifacts. 1 vehicle. Of course, it is an artifact. So 8 artifacts. Boy, things have to really line up for this to flip into a 10-10. So then are we happy with a 2-4? I don't think so. So I think we cut it. That's what I'm working out right now, JC. And I'm thinking... I say flip, but it does make a token, but I don't think it's worth it, is the bottom line. This, though, we want to keep ink. Oh, we could conceivably cut this, but I want to give it a try. I want to give this a try. There's all the stuff I want to give a try to. Maybe I just let this one go for now. This effect generally just is pretty good to have around in Limited, but it's not essential. So I think I can cut that. And then... yeah, it probably can. I just kind of want to try it. But it is tough to make these work, isn't it? Like, I don't have any incidental stuff that's dealing damage. I'm being stubborn, JC, but I think you're right. I think this is not good enough. Yeah, we can cut one of these and see how it works. I think this is probably pretty decent for installment plan turn, pay some turns to get a pretty big creature, but we can just try one. That's fair. And you're probably, I'll acknowledge JC's likely correct about that. Cut that one. I'm going to best of 1, and I'm going to be greedy and go 16 since we do have this getting us some land. Have some rampage on that front. Close here. So now what's our worst stuff? Might be this web spinner cuff. But it, it's got some utility. Maybe it's this thing. Because if I'm not reliably getting a 3/4 on 3, what is this doing in the deck? And none of these are entering, like, I'm not modifying anything before 3 very easily, so I think I'm cutting the air. I think you run the air when you have turn 2 modifiers. So then we're down to 1 cut. Help me out, gang. What goes? Throw me some nominees and I'll pull it. And then just cut whatever chat says. So toss me your nominations and we'll figure this out. The bot. Okay. D wants to cut the bot. Nobody else wants to cut anything, I guess. Wisdom. Historian's Wisdom. Yeah, this is one that I wasn't going to play until we were doing more modification stuff, but maybe it's not even that important. So I think it's a good one to put on the list. And Kick for Spinning Wheel Kick, sure. All right, I got 3 nominees. Let's do this and play. We can come back in and switch it up too. No harm there, mixing up which cards we're testing out. Like maybe if we've got something here that we're just trying to see how it plays, like let's say Historian's Wisdom doesn't get cut here, when we resolve it, we could come back in and then try some other card for the future. Looks like it is going to get cut though. No, default sleeves have always been what we want. Is default lands. I want to set my unhinged Avons as my default, but I can't do that. It's crazy. Not crazy, but a seems like low-hanging quality of life improvement for players. Yeah, maybe it was favor, but I think of this as just a reasonable combat trick, and then it can do the other angle. Oh, that was introduced a while ago though, months ago. But it was like, yeah, head smack. Like, great, thank you for. I mean, you might as well have nothing. If you're gonna show me all 5 colors, just show none of them. All right, where do we end up? Wisdom. All right, Wisdom. See ya. Well, you're gonna have to 5 win me or something at least, D. Come on, work for it. D acting like I just buy bling. Like I'm some kind of mama or something. No gauntlet tomorrow. Just gonna have fun playing the new set. All right, here we go. What about land count? I got 16. I think it's 16, right? All right, looks fine. Even got the Virus Beetle into Gravelighter plan if we can find one more land. Might just go trainee though. Go trainee. Depends. Let's see. Certainly a sneak. Lose life, gain life, and then it flips into a 2/2 menace. Okay, I'm glad we got our 3rd land. Rob likes leading with the trainees. Well, now I might do that and just hold the Gravelighter and go Uncharted Haven on turn 3. Well, I'll certainly do this and give us both options. Yeah, I hear you, Rob. But the benefit of doing it this way, of course, is that I can just straight up make them sack whatever they play next turn. That is pretty strong for just a beetle. So they drop a card, and then they play a land and another one, and then they play, and then, yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know. What is the right... I'm gonna do it this way, Rob. I hear you, but I want a Gravelighter next turn, and that means playing the beetle to make the fodder.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Hey, I mean, if this is what we get, I'll take it. And indeed, it looks like what we get. I could send in and we could draw a card instead, but I don't think drawing a card would be better than just making them sack this thing. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not even going to offer. I could bluff attack. Now hoping for a basic land so we can just 2 trainee next turn. But I suppose if we don't find one, we could go Haven Tanuki, but I'd like to make this a 6/5 trample at this point if I can. Maybe we should look at splash potential too. Between the Haven and 2 half-color dual lands and the Tanuki, we do have potential splash capabilities. I think I like this new board. It'd be neat if when cards hit the water they made a ripple, but I mean that's asking a lot, I guess. No 4th land, so now we're in single trainee Haven territory or Tanuki. Getting up to 6 is going to let us punch a couple of things. That seems good. I'm going to go black here, of course. And yeah, we'll go single trainee over any of this. What are we fading? Artifact or enchantment? Oh, it's an artifact creature. Yeah, good call, Rob. This didn't read artifact to me, so I didn't think it was. Yeah, I didn't see this as an artifact, honestly. You need to have this little stripe of gray register better. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just don't have open, but I can at least make sure the companion is open. And trainee. Yeah, I'm going to block. I mean, I'd use the antiquity, but if they're going to let me use the trainee instead, a 2-drop trading for a 4-drop is excellent. 2-drop trading for a trick, not as good, especially if they're going to get lifelink out of it, but it's still 2 mana for a very low, you know, a pawn. We're trading a pawn for whatever. Hey, that's great. That's not even what I expected. Whenever this attacks, return target creature card with mana X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the number of modified creatures you control. So right now they get 1-drops back, but this doesn't count as a creature, right? These don't count as creatures. Yeah, I don't think they are. Magic rules. Now we get trainee, and we can take out the modified one, but then it just puts it onto the unforgiving one. So I don't even know if we want to do that. I'm going to start with an attack, though. I'm not going to block with this thing. I could go ahead and get a land with this so that we can for sure pump 2 into this, but we just got to do this, right? I mean, this is where we start there. I just don't see doing any of these, though. Oh, that's true. It doesn't trigger it. Do you want to do it, though? Doesn't really... I don't care about this is the problem. Not yet. I think we just stay patient. Yeah, thanks, JC. Reminding me of the exile clause. Well, Well, it isn't now, but honestly, I would take a 2-for-1 of small stuff too. But yes, the dream here is get the Tanuki down and then double kill something with that, right? Simian Sling, Monkey Equip. This is the one that's kind of like that helm from Kaldheim, right? Okay, are they going to get something back now? Because they're going to have 2 modified creatures. No, 4 is still where they're at on that. And having spent that, maybe we do fade the Sling. Basic land is really what I want here, though. Oh, not quite. Well, we're going to try this. I'm not too impressed by it, and this is why. 5 mana to accomplish this turn doesn't feel great, but it's decent. We're going to do it and try to keep racing. And I'm going to throw this on the ground critter. No, I guess I put it on the evasive. Make the flyer bigger. They're making a Voltron over here, but we've got better crackback anyway. Oh, nice loop there. Wasn't thinking of that. JC was. All right. Now we'll go here. I'm going to keep making the flyer bigger. And yeah, we just trying to get to the wheel kick, but maybe we need to not be so value focused here and just take out the unforgiving one. And then they've got this 3/3. Yeah, that's where I'm at. We can fade the 3/3, right? So we save this to fade later, and we just kick the unforgiving one. I think that's correct here. And Rob says attack first. I suppose we are offering the trainee for any of this stuff, so that's fair. Yeah, let them, and especially Rob, let them make their block so that they can, quote, keep their loop going, and then... JC says no. I don't know what you're up to, JC, but I'm doing this. Oh, that's true. Let's see what they do with it, though. Yeah, maybe that was a mistake, JC, who's all over it as usual. Let's see where they go with it. All right, so given that... Well, we're going to have this next turn to kick it, so it's not the end of the world. JC had the line, and I missed it, but it's not the end of the world. We're going to flip into a 5/5 and have a nice kicker, and especially if we can find that basic land next turn, we get to fight 2 things with a 5/5. That'll be nice. We just need to survive until then. And to that end, I'm just going to fade. I think we fade the Sling, make him re-equip. And although we could play Bearer and threaten to just block this thing. Doesn't have... yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to attack and then just... Oops. Sorry. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Lost where I was in the turn and straight up punted. See if it costs us. I think we'll actually be okay here if we can just find the basic on the untap. If we find a basic land on our draw, we're fine. Yeah, Shame Scoop. I think I'll pass on the Shame Scoop. So taking 8 and going to 3 is brutal, but you know what's going to be brutal for them? Us killing both of their creatures next turn. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to take this and we're going to find our basic land and turn this around. Yeah, we should cycle that to guarantee you're right. What's this? First strike, maybe, and pay 1. Target player? Ugh, that's going to be tough. But I've got fade for that. We got to fade that after fighting the others. Well, we'll see. We'll figure it out. But yes, gotta ship this Tanuki now and make sure we get it. Let's see. What do we need to take out? A lot of stuff needs to die here is the problem. This has got to go, and then it's about whether it's the Shrine or the Song Shaper. And both of these deal us damage. This one deals damage without having to attack, though. This one has to at least attack. So, yeah. So we need to wheel kick for an X of 2. Target creature we control is going to fight this and this. Am I sending anything? Probably not at 2 life, although this can block this, this can block this. Hey, yeah, Vigilance can attack, sure. I know my icons. Shut up, chat. No, keep talking, because obviously I can't play without you. Anything else, though? Do you want to send a trainee? How risky are we being here? Rob likes the flyer. We do need to get him dead. All right, I'm gonna do what Rob says and blame it on him. This is Rob's choice. I'm just doing what Rob says. If we lose, it's his fault. If we win, I'm a genius at synthesizing ideas from other people. If nothing changes in that 4/4 attacks, are we chumping or trying to eat? That's a good point. Gotta try. In fact, maybe we just double block it, right? Put everything we've got on it to make sure it dies. Jeez, Oppo just... No, this is okay. This is okay. This is okay. Isn't it okay? No. We're dead. We're just dead. Actually, we're just dead. How are we not dead? But we're dead this turn. We're literally dead this turn. We're going to take a point here and a point there. Unless you can tell me how to avoid that. I think I have... Oh, they don't have the mana? Okay, there you go. I thought it was cheaper than that. It's hard. That 4 is tiny. I read that as like a 1. I really did. Okay, great. Then we're not dead.
fact, your friend here is only mostly dead.
But this thing then kills us, right? How do we not die to this? Yeah. Well, maybe my record at, you know, I've said that my like, yeah, I guess we attack, but there's we got to make them at least block. That's or not make them not block is fair, but they're gonna not block, and then we're gonna be dead. And it's making me introspective about my my record in Sealed, which is very average. Like, if you look at my historic Sealed record, it's near 50-50, like really bad relative to my draft results, which was in some ways makes me think that I get a big chunk of my advantage in Magic out of drafting better than the average player. But I also think that what it is that I play Sealed on day one of, basically on day one only. So, like, I'm a day one 50-50 player at Sealed, which is a far cry different from being, and well, exactly, Hammer, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, maybe, but the skipping the turn thing was more of a streaming punt than anything else, getting distracted about where I was in the turn cycle, trying to talk everything through. But certainly, I just think part of my bad record with Sealed is that it's early. It's always early in the format. Well, that's a bummer. I really believe we have that stabilized if I don't screw up that one turn. Ambusher ninjutsuing Beetle is cool. I'm in. Yeah, let's do that. Being able to attack with 1/1s on turn 3 without being blocked is not super likely, but you know. Thanks for reminding me to hide my emotes, Oppo. Saying hello to me, what a jerk. It's true that it's early in the format for everyone, D. I'm just trying to explore why it's extra bad for me. And I'm just saying, maybe down here when everybody's new to the thing, that's when I'm 50-50, and that my advantage is over time, I accelerate past where people are at the beginning of the format. But at the beginning, here we are, all are at 50-50. You know, you just want to live a simple dream, and then they play a blocker just like you predicted they would. Yeah, this is a good ninjutsu enabler, right? The 04 with doesn't have defender. I didn't mention that when we were looking at it in our own pile. Well, good news is they are likely to block the 3/2 and let the 1/1 through. We could also we could also just play the Reaches Skyward, but I think I'm going to go for the ninjutsu plan here. I mean, come on. Ninjutsu Ambusher, replay Beetle? That seems like a game-winning line here to me. That's funny. What is this? Enchant artifact or creature you control. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets +1/+1. So kill something and then... all right, well, in this case... well, we've got a pump spell that's likely to just take this thing out with a blocked lifelinker. I think we leave the beetle back to sell that result. Also, just considering playing the Reaches Skyward here. I think I want this thing gone, though. Although it doesn't really matter. It's not doing that much anymore. Definitely swinging the 3/2. Just not sure if we are casting either of these two things. Or just playing the Reaches Skyward, right? I think I'm going to get this going. They can have this block. We get some life out of this for this turn. And then get this started. That's the thing, right? Why am I so worried about this? It's a 1/5. We'll just attack through it. Loot, loot, then get a 2/3 flyer. All right. All right. Actually, at 6 mana means we can start doing... oh, do we get it killed? I thought we had... oh, yeah, it was this one. Already dead. Never mind. Still just swinging in, and then we get... now, do we want to send the beetle? Still don't want to send the beetle, because if they block it, I don't have a great... thing to, it's not a great I don't have a great play after they block a 1/1. I believe, you know, you should be able to copy anything, yeah. Oh, I don't know about that. Ask somebody smarter. Oh, I had the favor potentially there, but now Weaver's coming out for sure. And again, I guess we need this dead. I just don't know if we're supposed to take this thing out to encourage better attacks here, especially with this thing coming. Oh, this thing's going to be bigger than this anyway. So, can also just do it next turn, though. So I'm going to wait. Behold! Creatures you don't control, -2 until next turn. 1 or fewer, draw 4, otherwise scry 2, draw 2. Whoa, that seems nice. Wow. It switches into something. I'm not going to go dig in D, but that's funny. Maybe we can repurpose it. Yeah, this is a heck of a card here. It needs to be destroyed, but we have no way to destroy it, so I don't know what we'd be doing about that. So, this copying this does nothing. Yeah, you can't return it twice, so yeah, you're right, it does nothing. And, well, now I'm in favor of focusing on the whole getting them dead thing. What about... this? They're gotta be close, right? Oh, I thought this would have haste. I was confusing it with the... everything else feels like it has haste when it flips. That's weird. But some of them do, right? Yeah, so it's like, I thought that was kind of what they did. At least they didn't get 4 cards off this thing. Oh, well, that's probably why I've got it in my head from the common one. Another one of those? Ah, come on. Well, hey, look at us. Never mind, no complaints here. Ooh, copy it? Yeah, copy that, baby. Copy that. Now, do I trust the arena team? Do I need to go full control here or not? It's day one. It's day one. The trust isn't 100% there, but I'm gonna trust them to find out. I'm gonna do it so we can learn. All right? This is come on, arena team, don't fail me, but I'm gonna give you a chance. Nope. Look at that. Arena team, come on! Well, we learned. We learned. We said we were going to learn. We learned. We can copy this instead. That seems all right. Let's just do this and copy it instead. Oh, okay. Wait. Awesome. Great. Hey, arena team, you did it. Thanks. I'll take this one. Whew. You can see why I thought that we got worked over, though, right? It's because suddenly I'm targeting, so I thought it had resolved. And now, with nothing having died, actually, let's start here and get this flyer out of the way. Yeah, we're at a healthy life total. And let's see, how many forests do we have left? Oh, we've only got 2 forests, which is funny because it means that copying this actually doesn't do anything. All right. Reset those counters, pretty good from Oppo. We've got Menace though, and if they let this thing go through, we get to ninjutsu it. That's just not acceptable to them, right? So I'm going to hide this swamp because they don't know about it. They do know about that. I'm just trying to decide if we're sending everything. We are going to swing first, JC. What do you like swinging with? Obviously the Gloom Shrieker. Anything else, though? We're going to save this back. Although, again, this does not actually do anything here. Yeah, just the 3/2, right? I can't see a reason to send anything else. If we send both of these, they can block here. And I guess if we send both of these and they want to eat the Grave Lighter, I'm okay with that, because if they are going to eat the Grave Lighter, I get to replay the Gloom Shrieker and copy it again. I think that's worth it. No, I can't send all because I want to copy it, and this requires tapping. I'm copying. Remember, because it works. And what else do we want? So many options. Beetle? You like the Beetle? Sure. You like Pump? Lex likes Pump. Ooh, Beetle just kills the flyer, though, right? Yeah, Beetle straight up kills the flyer. We gotta do that. Yeah, only one copy per turn, but we'll take it. Ambush of their own, a Beetle of their own. Interesting. So what do we like? Probably get, actually, I just, with them having no flyers, I just want to keep my flyer. So I'm going to discard the ground thing. And this time I want to draw a card. So I'm going to send in... Well, I could send in everything. Oh, did I miss lethal? Oh yeah, I could have just well, no, they sack that and then they block. I think, yeah, maybe I screwed up by not doing that before, but I'm going to attack all now and then just play Gravelighter, and Trainee should be pretty good. Not lethal, but pretty good. I don't think we have rummaging, right? I'll play that. All right, we picked up a win. Let's get a few more. No, the quad black. No, we don't have that in. Well, that was some fun looping in that one. Deck kind of doing its thing there with the copying effects and graveyard shenanigans. That was fun. Surprising weight for day one. Even though it's, I mean, maybe more people are drafting or something, but I would expect things to just pair up left and right today. Sure. We got it. Another shot at our Beetle into Ambusher play. Do not play anything with 2 or more toughness. 1 toughness only, Pippin. If they play something that can block and kill the Beetle, I might send it in anyway. If they go unblocked, we get the ambush. If they eat it, we have the Gloom Shrieker to get it back, which is at least doing something, you know, and I kind of like that. So I'm going to do it, especially since that's a pretty powerful card and they might not want to block. And we're playing green. Could just be a pump spell. Nope, but we still get to do this. Yeah, they really had to steal up and make that call there because we're playing green. Could have easily had pump to chew that thing up. If they can't find a second thing to block with and we get to ambush and bring back the Shrieker, woo, I'll be shrieking all right. Like a little child. D already accusing people of sniping because they decided to block a 1/1. Vigilance. Whenever attacks alone, you may cast target enchantment card from your graveyard this turn. Nothing to do with that yet. Good to know. Hey, it's our frog maker. Hey, frog maker. Well, I got a plan though. Oh my gosh, this feels so good. Maybe giving them a an enchantment to cast from the yard, just so. But we did it. Hold on a second. I got a phone call I got to take. All right. We could chump with the Beetle to get Gloom Shrieker materials. That doesn't seem... Although we can Gloom Shriek and replay it. Maybe that's correct. Yeah, you know what? I'm doing it. That's true. I'm not too worried about making a frog. I feel like we're going to just do that, but we'll see. Okay, there we go. There's our frog flipper. Although we could also just cast this right now. 4/3 vigilance. Although they can still just block 1 for 1 and get there on it. So I'm going to go with the Shriek Beetle play. Yeah, getting this out and modifying some stuff will make the Skyscraper castable, but we'll get there. And I'm going to say no attacks so that we can threaten to block Norika. Even through removal. I guess I could have attacked with and offered trades, but sending into a Circuit Mender, I don't love either at this point. At some point, this is going to block and draw a card, but... Yeah, here it comes. If they didn't find a 4th land, they can still cast their 3-drop, though, yeah. So, solid choice from Oppo here to... So we don't get the Gloom Shrieker fun ends here, because it can't be recurred since it's going to get exiled. But I like doing that over the Lifelinker. And now Froggy leaves a lot of mana fallow, but if we sequence it this way, we get our frog. If we do it this way, we need to find yet another to get this going. So I am I'm playing for the long game here. I think if we drop the Toad Rider and then this next turn, we're going to be happy. And then it'll slowly get us to the 8/8 as well. But do we want to offer any ambush trades? No. Hey, Arsdal. We're playing Sealed, actually, but kind of punted away the first game. Came back strong in the second. Now we're in the third. Games are taking a little longer, not just because of me, but because of Oppo's too. We're all trying to learn these cards, so it's all going a little slower today, but it's cool. We're learning the cards, learning the set. When this enters, if you control an artifact and an enchantment, you draw a card and you gain a life. Very nice. They did it. We can go Harmony, make Frog, and then copy this next turn, but I don't know if that's worth it, if we should just get this going. The advantage to Sealed over Draft is that I don't have a pick clock, and on my first day I'm not pressured to read 15 cards in a handful of minutes. Yeah, let's get the Saga going. A little too fancy play, or too value chasing to go for that thing. All right, now I guess let's pump the frog. Although you're going to want to kill that anyway. Where should we put these? Maybe the beetle. Trouble is making a beetle a 2/2 isn't even that much better on this board. Probably the lifelinker then, and no attacks for now. Next turn, throw another counter, and then the skyscraper is 6, and even without a land draw, we can still cast this next turn if everything lives. Although we can also just start making things unblockable. Toad Rider and Frog can't be blocked except by flying or reach, which our opponent has none of, so I can make 6 points of unblockable, and maybe we just do that until Oppo is dead or does something about it. Because I can play Weaver as well. Oh, is it just the frog? I thought it said both. No, this and target frog can't be blocked. Yeah. Looks like they're sizing up removal options, potentially. But maybe they're... Making us offers, but at 21, I'm just going to decline. We can take all this and not worry about the damage this turn. I don't want to trade creatures for life right now. Or creatures for creatures in life. Yeah, that's true. That's true. We can just try and get another frog with the Weaver. But I believe... I guess with a lifelink, maybe I'm not winning the race in this situation. But I feel like we're going to start to get on it here. Well, or we're just dead. I mean, we're not dead. That was a good play from Oppo, but we're gonna still have some good play here. We got a skyscraper coming down and a Weaver of Harmony to start copying stuff we do later. Could even just make this a 5/4 lifelinker. Is that where we want to be? It means they'd have to double block to trade with it. I'm gonna spread it around though. And should have figured out my attacks before doing anything. A double block on the 4/4 with the Chef and the Disciple is a 1/1. I'm just gonna say no attacks and wait until next turn when we have a 5/5 and a potentially puff. Do we have any enchantment creatures? No enchantment creatures yet anyway. This is going to be one though. So this is going to get a 6/6 with the Weaver. Not that that's much different. Jeez. Well, I've only got the beetle at least. And hey, this is going to be nice if they're out of removal. And maybe I should actually start with, well, let's see, if we make a 9/9, what does that do for us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They got to risk basically 4 creatures to stop a 9/9, except they got this crew 4/5/5. And, all right, but it is just a 5/5. Just a 5/5. And if they crew it for 4, so like they can throw, still need to throw a couple other creatures in front. Yeah, the menace is not super relevant to our attacks though. I think I leave it as an 8/8. I throw a counter on the legacy. Oh no, I'm not throwing counters around anymore. I am with the bot though, I guess, right? So yeah, let's throw on the 5/5, make a 6/6 and an 8/8. And then I just kind of like swing. Well, the 5/5 means we can't send in our 4 powers unless we bump up one of those. So I could also put it on a 4 power to try and give us tools against this. But also I can just throw it here and drop this and really just start drawing cards next turn in a way that's quite powerful. So I'm kind of thinking we just play it cool here, although that's interesting too. 7/7. Yeah, Vigilance is probably fair, although it does get bigger as we add lands, right? Oh no, it doesn't. Sorry, I'm conflating it with the other, or the 4-mana saga thing we have. Right. So then I'll send it. Not getting any bigger. If it could get bigger, I could see waiting to have it grow, but this is okay. We'll trade that for whatever. And 2 mana to draw a card each turn is going to win us the game if they don't deal with a guide bot or come up with something similar in terms of a value train for themselves, or come up with some ridiculous bomb. I mean, those are like, this is going to take over unless they match it, kill it, or go over the top of it with just sheer power. I think them choosing to chump and draw as opposed to try and actually kill the 7/7 is pretty good for us. That's a good sign. Scry 2, gain 2, and then you get a 2/2 first strike. Okay. No, it can. It can become tap draw, I believe. All of their creatures are pretty solid here. We could play this to sack, and what would we have to sack, though? I guess let's start by drawing. Trainee. Could play the trainee and then and then sack it. Could send in and see if they want to do some blocks. I guess we send in the 7/7 again, maybe, because then if a creature died this turn, they're not going to take 7. Probably they'll either kill it or chump or again or something. So we probably get a card off Gravelighter. Let's just do that. Sending in the 7/7. All right, they're just taking it now. I'm fine with that too. And I guess we do go trainee and Gravelighter, because I'm going to sack the trainee over anything else I've got. This is one of the spots where just a flyer is pretty good. We got the ground clogged with an 8/8 hexproof. At this point, I like making him beat the Gravelighter. Hey, look, 2 mana removal. We'll see about that, but let's start with the draw again. What needs to die here? Is this instant? Oh, it's instant. Means we can swing away and blow out double blocks? Hello. I'm going to send everything and then probably use the ink on the 5/5 equip or vehicle. But this seems good to me. Somewhat no look. I haven't fully done the math here, but just knowing that I have the ink for the 5/5 makes me want to make Oppo figure it out and then respond accordingly. Yeah, that's true. We got to keep in mind that ink taking out a blocker could produce game-winning trample if you block the skyscraper. Yeah, it chose not to. Oh, no, here we go. The crewing is now. Well, I get that the Oppo can respond and get value in response, but that's okay. I like to let them block first, because they might have put that mech in front of the Trampler, which would change things. But this all looks good. Now let's check and make sure. Yeah, the Trample's getting through anyway. We can't further trample. There's no, like, game-winning removal here, so we'll just do what we expected and take this thing out. Chef's about to die. I don't know why we want to kill the chef. You seem very concerned about the chef getting value, but it's like, it's just going to happen. That's all right. We're trying to overcome that value through just sheer damage. I don't... Maybe... I just felt like that looked great to me, so I didn't care too much. Yeah, I don't know. Anybody saying we would have had the kill if, like, they had different block options if we went for that. All right. Anything? Okay, we can get this thing, which is actually good because, you know, lifelink is helping keep him in this. But we can also just go for Grave Lighter. But yeah, exile the Lifelinker, and then we can send Flyer and big stuff. Although I should be drawing. I should continue. Really should be drawing first. Poor form to not draw first. But this looks good. Sending all but the Harmony. All right. Yes, we love making the gold number go up. That's what multi-accounting will do for you. Multi-accounting and a decent win-loss record. What's going on over here? I guess everybody's just drafting. Huh. Haven't had mana issues at all so far. First time we even have to think about mull or keep, but I'm going to keep on the strength of the Weaver, and we'll find ourselves some black. No problem. Swamp one time. All right, now land of any kind one time, please. At least any, well, yeah, any land. I'll take the non-basic because it gives us a black source, but any basic gives us the Mender at least. Weaver gonna die? No. Something instant speed in Oppo's hand, but obviously not 2 mana, 2 damage burn spell, or this Weaver would be dead. Scrap Welder. It's a rare 3/3 for 3. Sack an artifact with mana value X. Return target artifact card with mana value X from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. So, fun little constructed card. We'll see what kind of utility it has here in Limited. And we got our Swamp. Excellent. We could copy this and have it start draining 2 a turn. Nothing much to do besides, you know, we could play some of this other stuff, but I'm just going to go for the 3. What's that? It's a land. What? What? That hurt. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna wait on this. We can... just, that doesn't do enough yet. I guess we go Gauntlet. We could throw the Torment on something here. This is an instant. We could also just hold this up. Make this a 1/2 that can't block. It's a pretty weak card, but then that just gives them a goal there. I'll do this. And yeah, I'm gonna hold. Well, I'm gonna hold. I don't know. But maybe we come up with something to rebuke before we untap. Not that though. Flying when it enters. Whenever an artifact enters, you can loot. Okay. Flying artifact looter. Well, it's not an artifact. I'm going to throw this on here. Reduce what it's capable of doing. Send this. And hope they come up with something that we can rebuke this turn. We might rebuke this, if nothing else. But ideally, we find something else. I don't want it 2-for-1 myself. And also, I want to leave this here draining them. Not draining, it's not gaining us life, but you know what I mean. Oh yeah, this is the land finder, and then you can put a counter on something. Pretty clunky, but if you're playing 3 colors, you do what you gotta. And it's triggering things in the set, so it has a lot of synergies within the set. Saw this one, Shrine Pinger. That's how we lost our first game, or among the ways we lost game 1. We can rebuke that though. That's great. Oh, I should have done it before going to here, but I guess I get to do this and then the number is 0, right? All right, now we got a swamp, a 5th land, so we could actually make a 4/5. Oh yeah, that's right, they were tapped out. Counter on the lifelink also makes some sense. We can attack with it now. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. I like that. Another thing this does, if we find a basic land, we can spinning wheel kick with lifelink twice, which would be quite a way to come back in this one. So, if we can untap with everything intact and draw a basic, I think we win. Gotta watch out for the Welder, though, and what it might be able to do. This is fortunately an enchantment creature, not an artifact creature. What is this, though? Mindlink Mech. 4/3 flying, crew 1. When this becomes crewed for the first time each turn until end of turn, it becomes a copy of target non-legendary creature that crewed it this turn, except it's a 4/3. It's a vehicle artifact in addition. Okay, so it's a heck of a card. I think here, though, we're just taking it again. We got the life cushion. If we can untap and kick, again, we're just in great shape. It's a sorcery, though, so we can't pick off a vehicle unless it's post-combat. Jump and draw is interesting, I guess. The 4/3 is already set to trade with this. I guess we do spread it around here. Ooh, and we can, yeah, this is a good top deck. I just noticed it. And exile this vehicle, and then we get in this turn. Yeah, that's fine. Is this... What's going on here? What's going to happen? That's what happened. Not awful, nah. They're allowed to have stuff too. If we can just find that 6th land and double punch, it's all over. Yeah, that's true. I was forgetting that thing even was reconfigurable, right? It was just doing so much work as a lifelinker on its own. And we got the land. I mean, they have a card, so this isn't free and clear, but it feels like if this were something relevant, we would have seen it do action by now, so we're just going for it. And we got the Welder. I don't care about the flyer. I want to race. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the 2 ground critters. Yeah, punch. I guess we could punch with a beetle if we're going to do that. That's fair. Then if they do have something for this, we at least draw a card, right? Yeah, makes pump better for them. I don't know. Pros and cons. But this one has haste. There you go. But that's what confused me about all the other ones and made me think that our other one had haste when it didn't. All right, it was just a shatter pause, not a what do we do about this pause? Still dead. Oh, come on, why not? Because winning at 14 is better than 11. Look, I'm making legal Magic plays. Still had all these ninjas. Yeah. They can concede anytime. Well, after starting with a loss, we've picked up 3 straight. You want to take a look at the deck again? Take a look at it based on what we've learned here. This was pretty good, but I don't think we had a second. There have been a lot of damaged creatures. I think this is going to get stuck in our hand sometime, but mostly if we would have had this card in hand so far, we would have found reasonable uses for it. We would have gotten our value. These ambushers have been overperforming. Maybe I'm supposed to bring this back in. A second one of these in. But it was just too... It felt too mana intensive for not that much of an effect. Yeah, but it's only it's amazing on turn 9, but that is like the only time we get to play it, and I don't like that. It's one thing if it's like, hey, whether turn 4 or turn 9 you're happy, but the thing is it's like it's never except until 9. I don't know. Like if you look at where we've been mana wise, this would have been very hard to cast all event long. We have one of these in. We just don't have 2 of them in. So that's the bottom line. But again, we can do it. You want to try one of these? We can mix it up. We could take a skyscraper out and put another skyward in. But yeah, I think we're in a good spot. I just don't know if we want to try the despair. Hodge wants to try it. Okay, we can try it, but maybe not for the skyscraper. What about for what's been kind of the least like this? How about for this combat trick? I'm gonna try it for that. I don't know if this is bad. It's hard to say 2 mana +3/+3 with upside is bad, but it's maybe the weakest card in our deck. Try this. Black Clover likes as is. Day 1, we're gonna mix it up and try stuff. I don't know if we might also supposed to be reconfiguring our mana here to add another black source, but gonna try it like this. Yeah, but we don't have any of them though, so it's just a matter of, it doesn't matter if there's better cards in the set if they're not in our card pool, right? So it's just a matter of whether it plays or not. And we have other interactions, so it's not super important. I like really it's in because we have enchantment matters, like it helps us make frogs and stuff. But honestly, if we are hard casting that as an aura just to make a frog, it's probably not the greatest anyway. Well, we're going to keep. Maybe they'll play something for us to pick off with a Torment. Who knows? But gotta keep this. Both colors, something to do on 3. Potentially something to do before 3 if we get a target. Oppo on the Mole also doesn't suck. 4th land, black also doesn't suck. Well, well, well. What do we pitch? I mean, we don't need... Turn 1 doesn't matter. Yeah, I think we probably pitch Forest. That's the greedy play. But let's be greedy.
it is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed is good.
Do we want to spend a card on taking out the beetle? Honestly, with the ninjutsu colors, us at 3-1, I think we do, Haj. I hear you, but ninjutsu is real. We're killing it. Against blue-black, yeah. Yeah, it's just audio I grabbed from the internet, so maybe I need to louden that up, but it's not even hooked up like everything else. It's just a sound file that it goes and gets, so. Bummer. This is an instant, so we can at least take out the flyer with this if they attack again. So I'm gonna send in the Mender and just pass. Ugh. Well, pretty easy pitch of the skyscraper here at least. Yeah, too bad we don't have enough power to just rebuke it, but the ink will do here. Well, they have an easy block and probably take it, but make him do it. And then just trainee, I think. No Death Touchers. I don't think so. Oh, it's not. Untapped GG doesn't show me the deck yet. I don't think so, though. I don't think we have many dupes, so that's not going to find anything. They do get to look through our library, though. Pretty wordy. Oh, I see. They can get that back. I thought they were just getting a 4/4 and wasn't too worried, but like they totally get the one that the first one. So sure, yeah, that sucks. And this is terrible for us because they just get to sack a beetle. But I think we send everything. They probably don't block with the 4/4 anyway. Okay, well, I'll do this. Gang, I might have to wrap up here. I do have a hard stop coming at noon. I thought day one I should have known, but I'm thinking I may have to wrap up after this game, regardless of how it plays out. Although how this is going is not great. Still gonna send in. They know about the rebuke, so I guess it's kind of. They don't know about the grave lighter though. I'm still sending. Because I said so, D. Two for winning myself, but I'm gonna try. Oh, and I'm playing into the ink anyway. I'm fading, gang. That's one of the reasons I want to get off air, too. I'm not really plugged in right now. When I feel myself getting unplugged, it's time to get off the air. And right now, I'm kind of in more... I'm leaning towards making legal Magic plays and not playing very tight Magic. Only one green source. Unfortunate. Yeah, but I'm not really paying attention while stuck on 3 either. That's not helping me. And then now Gravelighter is still... Well, I'm going to send in again because now I want to draw... Well, let's see. This is all bad. I don't like playing Gravelighter. What does that do for us? They sack a beetle and we lose the Gravelighter or the Mender? Ugh. I guess sack the Mender for a card is alright, but I just... Like, we need board presence. It feels very wrong to cut our own board presence out from under us. And in this case... Yeah, I'm just gonna play this and pass. At least they're not attacking us. Let's just move forward, eventually get this down. Then we can actually attack into a 4/4, even with a trainee that threatens to become a 4/4. Greening that one. Yeah, now maybe we have enough going on where we can let the Mender go. So I'm willing to do it now, because we have some extra defense. Also, getting a 2/2 flyer out ahead of the tails is nice, because we can make a 3/3 flyer. That's true, I could have been attacking already, Haj, you're right. Hey, we do get a 6th land, though, which means we can actually, if we get play this first, we can get a kind of come around and win the game off of the tails. If they don't come up with something absurd and we can go tails eventually into kick, that's great. Except now we got to discard 2. Obviously the swamp. But I actually think with them at 13, we ditch the kick and just try to get there with a big flyer. Make them stop that. That's going to be my play. Because then this also flips and becomes something big as well. So sad to lose our removal. That was going to be so good. But we don't even have anything much to kill here. And with our 2/2s, so there's really no choice in the matter. It's just sad that we don't get to come around to use this eventually. Like I said, it was going to eventually be quite the potent play. But as it is, try to get there on a 3/3, then 4/4 flyer. We're just going to move all in on this Gravelighter. See what happens. Oh yeah, that's interesting, D. They went back on that. Oh, hey, look, this doesn't get back our removal, but getting back something, the skyscraper, a lot of stuff this could get back, but we'll get this later. Start here. Don't need to do this when I've got a great plan already in terms of lighten up graves. All this pausing can be explained by this, but there you go. That's true, Haj. I'm just figuring that I want to start with the big flyer, but maybe next turn we throw one on the trainee as opposed to a 4/4. I'll think about that. Still feels like moving all in on a 4/4 flyer is a pretty good plan, and not worrying about the trainees getting to attack into a 4/4. But another body attacking is good. If they do chump the 4 or trade with the 4/4, then we get a 5/5 that crushes. Ah, they had one of them of their own. But they don't know about this. Ooh. Now I want Weaver into Gloom Shrieker copy, right? So, don't have an attack though now because this 3/5 just... Let's do this. Right? We wait. I mean, we could do this, but double this seems worth waiting. No, no. Oh wait, I can sack a creature. Oh, I'm gonna sack a creature. You were sacking a creature. What else does this thing do? Sack unless they discard. So now I kind of want to hold the land for discard. And then shriek and draw a couple things. You like swing 6 first? Yeah, sure. Not going to change too much, but yes, we should do that. Because we might want to get it if they double block it. Yeah. What do we kill if they do double block? I think the 5 toughness, since the trainee can attack into the 4/4 successfully, but interesting. Oh, they're just going to chump. Oh, they're going for all of it. Okay. But I'm on the 5. Anybody disagree? You like the 4/4, Haj? What's your thinking? I'm not worried about ninja stuff right now. I mean, they're out of cards. They have to draw it. So... I'm going to go with my gut, which is the 3/5, but I'm not sure about this. All right, let's get the tails back. And then get something else. Torment. Just Skyscraper, right? Just get big here. I'm going to get big. I don't know if this is right. Hourglasses are going down. We're on TV. Let's just get going. Do something. Trouble with Skyscraper is that I might not be able to play it before I need to, because I had to discard land here. But we're going to throw this around, so I don't know. That's true and copy the counter trigger, and that's going to be good if we get land. I could actually just discard the Skyscraper again and set up that play for next turn. After all that work to get the Skyscraper back, now I kind of want to toss it. Although, well, we can pass and decide, because I can hold the land still. I definitely want to discard a card here, though, right? So discard a card. Yeah, I'm going to discard the Skyscraper. This is a great little combo to have ready with this, with the Weaver, if they don't have it. And they're top decking. Try to pressure. See if they kill that. I mean, again, if they find kill here, we gotta salute. I mean, they're top decking, so generally I'm playing like they're not going to disrupt my plans. Certainly there are cards they could have that would. Leech Gauntlet is interesting too, but we're going to go for the plan. Now, definitely on the trainee to get a 5/5 on attack, so I'm going to start there. And put another one on the Gloom Shrieker, and then it has trade attacks. And I think we swing away. Next turn, we have Leech Gauntlet as well. Yeah, I'm just sending. Maybe me being lazy, though. I'm fading, gang, and it's, I don't know if I'm playing perfectly, but I'm playing. Do this. Haha, well done, Alexis. I'm sorry, I have another meeting at that time. Let's copy and keep throwing it here. Ooh, yeah, we can, let's do it. Let's do it. I don't know, do I have to read? Ugh. 12? Yeah, we'll be plenty big. We get a lot of life here. Let's do it. We get that. We get our lifelinker back. Next turn, this flips into a 5/5, and we can equip it and make it a 7/7 Vigilance Haste lifelink. Hey, we know that card. Oh no, sorry, this is a different one. I thought it was our card draw card. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard. If you do, you may play that card this turn. Oh, that's a fun card. I like that design. Let's see. Could also throw this over here, although this doesn't add power as we've noted, so I may as well just put it on the 6/6. I think they're hunting for removal. I'm sandbagging land because of discard stuff, although maybe that's a reason to play it. I don't know. But maybe you can get them to use discard badly. Well, just a 3/3 for now with no Froggy. But we'll send in. I'm gonna move this over here now. Spread it around. Not that it matters. I mean, it's not like it pumps power. I'm just making legal magic plays by moving that around. Is a gauntlet a hand? Well, a gauntlet is a glove. It's one meaning of the word. Like the Infinity Gauntlet from the Marvel movies. Tap down's a problem? Which one? What are we looking at? A gauntlet, as we use it for the competition, is more about a series of sequential trials is another word for gauntlet. I'm going to run the gauntlet. I'm going to go through a series of sequential trials. Yeah, now we got to undo the... This is a terrible draw. Unattach. What has happened to this game? Yes, Rob. Yes, Gar. All of that. This thing might be a mythic uncommon. Beating the crap out of us. sack or discard, then get a huge menace attacker? Wow. Do we need to get some life back with the Leech Gauntlet? Or maybe just trade off the Weaver since it's not doing anything right now? Double block to trade? Yeah, maybe that's the play. And then we just get there with these eventually. All right, Mike, I'm in. Such great creatures to have to give up, but I think you're right. Bearer, you're late. But 9 mana, we can actually do this and do this. It's not instant, right? Yeah, so we get a... Did you remember to ping, Ryan? I'm going to give a counter before we untap. And then they only have one blocker right now. So yeah, unless they can come up with the answer to the Toad Rider or another flyer, we're okay. All right, snuck it in, snuck it in. Pretty hot. 4-1 start after an 0-1 start. I gotta say, set looks fun, looks complicated. I'm a little worried for our new folks, but for us experienced players, this looks right up our alley. Lots of synergy, tons. The synergy is through the roof in this set. Like, I was a lot of cards that looked just okay. You know, like, this card is just okay. Oh, but it triggers 5 different synergy things in the set, so it's great, right? That's what it's feeling like to me. Like, all the okay stuff gets much, much better in the right synergistic contexts. I mean, this set has common flip sagas, so complex much? Yeah. But, again, it's all about who's this for. It's going to be great for us. I'm just a little worried about the noobs. But we're going to have fun with it. Hey, YouTube friends, look, it's content for you. Again, sorry that it was such a long gap, and I'll be as steady as I can, but no promises. And but I really thank you for sticking around and supporting my content through the years here. And I'll keep going and keep getting it up to you as much as I can, given my schedules and everything. So thanks, YouTube friends. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.